extraordinaire, and he has explored and photographed the Cabinet Mountains and the surrounding areas for much of his young life. And he's going to share with us his passion for protecting western Montana's last roadless areas. Come on ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Klaus. I'm from Trout Creek, Montana. I'm a junior in high school. I moved out here from Central Illinois 7 years ago and have been hiking a lot in the Cabinet Mountains. I'd like to tell you a little about and show you some slides of the Cabinet Mountains, one of the most amazing places in Montana. This is the view from Scotchman Peak in the Scotchman Peaks proposed wilderness, looking towards the Compton Crags in Montana. Probably the showpiece of the wilderness, of the range, is the Cabinet Mountain Wilderness. It's 94,000 acres of amazing wild country with 80 named lakes, and the highest peak being Snowshoe Peak at 8,700 feet. This is the view looking down from Apex Peak, or A Peak. It's on the same ridge as Snowshoe Peak. It's a 4,000-foot cliff, one of the steepest vertical escarpments anywhere in the Rocky Mountains. This is my brother looking over this. Don't tell my parents we did this. And this is Snowshoe Peak, and that's Blackwell Glacier on the north face. There's lots of wildlife in the cabinets, including rare species such as grizzly bears, wolverines, and mountain goats. This is mountain goat with a kid on the north face of Ingle Peak, the southern end of the wilderness. This is Flat Top Mountain and Upper Lake and the southern end of the wilderness again. It's A Peak. Blackwell Falls is the tallest waterfall in the Cabinet Mountains. It carves a notch for 1,000 vertical feet out of Blackwell Glacier. There are many roadless areas in the Cabinet Mountains that aren't protected. I'll hit on 3 tonight. This is the view looking from Q Barn Mountain, the Q Barn Silcox roadless area. The big peaks in the background are the Cabinet Mountain Wilderness. Probably the largest roadless area, and it's a proposed wilderness, is the Scotchman Peaks. 88,000 acres. This is the view looking north from the top of Scotchman Peak towards Savage Peak. This is the south face of Scotchman Peak. And Q Barn Silcox roadless area is a 25,000 acre roadless area north of Thompson Falls, Montana. There are a couple dozen lakes and a lot of road loop trails. It's the 4 Lakes Basin. One of my favorites is the Cataract roadless area. It's north of Trout Creek, Montana, and it's 45,000 acres. And it's composed of rugged cliffs, a dozen lakes, and a lot of mountain alpine meadows. That's Water Hill on the southern end of the roadless area. It's important, I think, that young people are involved in protecting the last roadless areas in the Cabinet Mountains, because they're the ones who are going to have to carry on the legacy of protecting these places. This is my dad and my brother on the way to the top of A Peak. Setting up camp. It's important that parents take their kids into the wilderness and teach them the value of it and wilderness ethics. There are several threats to the Cabinet Mountains. This is an aerial view of what was once part of the Thompson Peak roadless area on the eastern end of the range. Just a checkerboard of clear cuts. Another one is the Rock Creek Mine. This is tailings in the Troy Mine north of the Scotchman Peaks. And the Rock Creek Mine would be similar. And it's not a good idea because it would tunnel beneath the wilderness and create large underground shafts. And if the shafts were to cave in, lakes such as Cliff Lake, Rock Lake, and St. Paul Lake could very well drain. And mining is, a necessary evil, but this isn't really a good spot for it, I don't think. And this drought, this is a scene similar to many places you'll see in the Cabinet Mountains, where bark beetles and spruce budworm have killed off a lot of the trees. It's not so bad, however, because the resulting meadows after all the trees die are prime wildlife habitat. And this is the largest remaining glacier in the Cabinet Mountains. It's Blackwell Glacier. This is a Google Earth image of what was once part of the Cuban Silcox Roadless area, but has recently been eroded and clear-cutted. And this is my dad on top of a peak overlooking the amazing vastness of the Cabinet Mountains. I'd like to show you a short video I made last week when we climbed Scotchman Peak. And Scotchman Peak actually isn't in Montana. It's over the border, but it's in a roadless area that's mostly in Montana. And the views from the top, you're looking into Montana. And I highly recommend that you go on one of their hikes. It's really fun. And I'd like to give special thanks to Doug Carroll. He's the one who got me interested in protecting roadless areas. And thanks for your time, everybody.